Now in this shot we're going to try to do a really fun effect, which is you should be able to see the bullets fly into the steel. This is because of the lighting conditions. This time of year the sun comes in at just the right position to be able to generate this for about 30 minutes a day. So here it is. Let's see if we can capture it. I've been playing with this thing for a couple weeks now. This is the AB Suppressors Warthog 762. You guys have seen some cans from AB Suppressors on the channel here previously. This one is their newest offering that makes several improvements over the previous generations. In fact, I've become a little bit spoiled on this thing because, again, I've been testing it for a few weeks now, but I had to do a night shoot for another project, and at the time, this thing had not released yet, so I had to take it off of the rifle that I was using it on and use a different can. This thing is pretty exceptional. That's of course on steel. What about the van? How about a plate that makes a whole lot of noise? The AB Suppressors Warthog coming up right now. We've covered multiple suppressors from AB at this point, so if you're a regular viewer, you'll know this one. AB's cans use what they term their SpiralTech baffle. Here's a cutaway from the Raptor video. Think that, but the Warthog is stainless steel. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the 30 cal variant, but it's also offered in 5.56. One of the other features retained in this model is its placement of the info on the serialized portion. Clear at the back, where the metal is the thickest, shielded by the mounts. Speaking of the mounts, another change. This one has been jailbroken to accept industry standard mounts, and AB is doing direct thread mounts, but there is plenty of room in the blast chamber for all the things. This can is rounded out with a flash suppressing end cap that we're going to put to the test here in just a bit. Wow, boys and girls, look at that. Perfectly clear night out tonight. You can't get much better than that. Perfectly clear night, no moon. Look how dark it is. Yes, indeed. The signature at the muzzle and then at the ejection port. So here we go. At the muzzle. At the ejection port. And then, of course, for comparison purposes, nothing on the end. I do not expect this to cycle. At the muzzle. I think you guys get what's going on here. We're going to go ahead and go to the, that is the muzzle report. I'm going to say that the flash reduction on this can is decent. It's definitely not the best that we've ever tested, but it's certainly passable. The one thing I would say that we did see in the night test and a few other places is that there's a decent amount of first round pop, and that has shown itself as extra flash. Now we're going to move over to our recoil reduction test. That test yielded a 27% reduction in recoil, which, if you remember back to the original video on the topic, is a number that is normalized for the weight of the device. I believe that that is the best result that we have received yet. So that's saying something.
Now, where on earth did I put those ads on my channel? Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Sorry about that, guys. One of the companies that has stepped in to help us recoup some of the lost ad revenue from the YouTube shenanigans is SpiralTech, listed on our Linktree account that is in the description box down below, as well as our full affiliates page, where you guys can take advantage of good deals from companies that we trust. Thanks.
Now we're going to move on to our gassing test. You guys have seen this before. This is the rifle speed gas control. Coincidentally, I just did a update video on this product, kind of see how it's been doing thus far. It should be the video just below this one. We're going to set it to the minimum setting. We're going to shoot it on the setting and then bump it up as necessary until we get 3 rounds of cycling. As expected. We did get ejection. All right, 3 rounds of cycling at setting 8. We're going to drop it back down all the way to 1, making sure our gun is clear for the internet. And now we're going to apply our suppressor. Now, interesting, this is a 5.56 gun. This suppressor came with 30 caliber mounts, but it has been set up to accept industry standard threaded mounts. So it doesn't matter if you want to use dead air or this is a reared-in manufacturing mount for a 5.56 gun. Treat all guns as though they're loaded all the time. Had to do a jump cut there because YouTube hates me. Would you look at that? Now to confirm that result, we're still at setting 1, cans off. Now the reason I like this test is that it illustrates my experience with the AB suppressor line quite well. If you remember back to our video on the Raptor, we had 2 variants of the Raptor in. We had a small one and a large one. By small and large, what I mean is the number of spirals in the SpiralTech stack. There reaches a point where after you get over a certain number of spirals, you're going to have less flow through and more suppression. And for anybody who isn't following, suppression and flow through are inversely proportional, as in they compete directly against each other. So if you have a can that flows through really well and provides less gas in your face, it's going to suppress less. So your sound is going to be higher. If you want a heavier suppressing can, it's going to provide more gas load to your gun. That's just the way that it works. The prime function of the suppressor, it's not some voodoo magic. It captures the gas, slows it down, cools it down, and releases it in a controlled manner instead of all at once. Those of you who have been following along will recognize this is the AB Suppressors Raptor. This is a 30 caliber suppressor that is fully reflexed, which is this blast chamber that we have here that goes back over the barrel. And this can is so awesome that it has been sitting on this 6.5 Creedmoor ever since we did the original video on the AB Raptor, because it's just, I can't bring myself to take it off. Well, all good things must come to an end, and today we're going to be testing the Warthog using this 6.5 Creedmoor. If you want to know more about this 6.5 Creedmoor build, then I'll have a full video in the description box down below for you guys to look at. We're going to be testing accuracy today And the idea is, for anybody who hasn't been following along and not seen one of these videos before, is that we're looking at two main criteria. The first is the group size. Did the group size shrink, get bigger, stay the same between unsuppressed and suppressed? And then the other one is, did we have any point of impact shift? Fiocchi Extrema 6.5 Creedmoor 129 grain SST. Now, I don't know that this is entirely fair because this is the first time this gun has been fired in a long time. First round, second round, then the next three. Depending on how this looks, if we see a repeat once we put the suppressor on, then we'll consider these two. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go with it's doing the same thing. I need to evaluate that vertical stringing. First and foremost, yes, we have some troubleshooting to do on the rifle, but that's not the can's fault. But it does tell us something. If we look at this group, it's essentially the same, but the effect down range is reduced. So first round, second round into a group, first round, second round touching into a group. So not only is the group size reduced, which is something that we typically see in well-regulated suppressors, but also whatever this impact is, whatever's going on with the rifle is also being dampened by the suppressor, which is pretty cool. Point of impact shift. Did we experience some point of impact shift? I would say yes, because if we look at this, I would say that the unsuppressed group center is roughly here. I would say that the suppressed group center is roughly there. I was using top left corner of the B, top left corner of the D. So yeah, I would say that we shifted a little bit. Now, is that a huge shift? No, I wouldn't call it a huge shift. I get really concerned when we're aiming here, our group is here, and we're hitting over here or off the paper or something like that. That's where we really get concerned. This is something that can definitely be worked with. And now that we've gotten the Creedmoor out, we talked about accuracy, let's put it to practical use and see if we can't ring some steel down there at the 500-yard mark. Crap. All empty brass. Gotta go get another box.